I would like to introduce Robert Milder from the company Sant, which is taking in charge of the environmental friendly furniture production. And you also appeared on the TV show Dragon's Den about several months ago.
Yes,
so
correct.
I would like to ask some questions regarding your experience on this entrepreneurship and some other questions as well.
Okay, Go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, let's start off from really basic ones. So can you tell us about like the inspiration that you had behind your whole company of this fan design?
Well, our company is really focused on the sustainable development goals, which are there now at this moment. But for 8 or 9 years ago, no one have ever heard of it. People were not really busy with the environment. Yeah, it started a bit. I mean, the plastic waste and everything. You realize that there was a problem. But as long as you don't see it, people don't care that much. At that time, I was so 9 to 10 years ago, I was innovating some kind of a new furniture frame, and at that same moment, I thought, you know what, it might be possible to use recycled plastic or waste that comes out of the ocean or from the land, from landfills or whatever. Turned out it worked. But then the challenge came, okay, how are you going to bring it into the market? How are you going to make it really a thing? So in the beginning, I didn't tell it was made from recycled plastic. So if you have your normal sofa, like you have at home, it's normally from wood, and I changed it into plastic. So you also don't see it. So that was the good thing, that you don't see it. But that was quite a challenge to make the switch for a lot of companies, for a lot of traditional markets. But it turned out well.
Yeah, I think the amazing part of what you've done is making your idea come to reality. Because honestly, for environmental friendly kind of things, we all know it, but it's not like everybody take actions to it. So I don't know. I was personally very fascinated about that idea. And even you started this since like 6 years ago, was it? Maybe more than that.
Yeah, a bit longer. I mean, when you start testing, you're not really a company yet, but you start already testing and you start having that vision idea. And I was literally on the beach seeing plastic waste and say, you know what, this is really ridiculous what we as humankind, a human being can make such a mess out of it, out of the environment. And then you see all those valuable waste streams around you, because plastic can be of a value if you bring it back in the circular economy, in the economy. So at that moment, you don't have a real company. You start testing, you start doing stuff, and no one believes in you. And even the most traditional furniture companies say, "Yeah, that's not even possible." I say, "Believe me," and you know. So I lived in several countries, and I tried to do the several things. Like in the US, like in Holland, and it's quite a challenge to convince people that it has to be done.
Yeah, and in that time, I believe a lot of people were more unaware of this environmental friendly kind of item compared to now.
Yeah, only the real people who were involved in the environment, who really, for me, I wasn't even an how you call it, an environmentalist. I was just a person who visits the beach and who has already a business and who would like to change something in life. And and at that moment, I really start thinking, you know what, we can do the whole business like this. We can actually change some industry. I always use the example from Elon Musk, who changed the car industry to the electric cars. And I'm trying to do that within the furniture industry. It's not technology that much like electric cars, but it is a solution. And nowadays, it's not even only the plastic waste we use, but we also use the foam waste, and we use the fabrics. The fabric is made from post-consumer textiles, so our clothes. So we create a complete product, which if it's in your home,
Mhm.
It is just a part of the society, and you don't even notice it. It's the same comfort, it's the same feeling, it's the same like you had before. It's only made from recycled content.
Mhm. Yeah, I love this how your whole company, this technology, I guess you can call it, turns plastic waste into that's polluting our ocean into a designer furniture. So then how do you think the circular economy will grow in the future further from now on?
Well, in our case, it's really simple. I mean, we take literally some waste from the streets and from other environments and from oceans, and we put it in the sofa piece. But at the end of the life cycle, that same furniture piece can return in our manufacturing process um, to use as a new resource. So there's never going to be waste anymore. You have in the furniture industry a lot of furniture waste. I believe only the US, I'm not talking about the US, is millions of tons of furniture being thrown away every year. Um, yeah, and that is in our case that's not necessary anymore. It's the end of the of the waste area. So that's going to be the circular economy. And regarding to other industries, yeah, it's really important that we all collaborate with different kind of industries, so not only furniture, but all industries around us to create that circle. Yeah, to create that circle, because maybe our waste stream cannot be used within the furniture industry, but it can maybe used in another industry. So you have the cross collaboration, and I think that's really key for the circular economy, and I think that is the future.
Mhm. So you mentioned about this cooperation with all the other people and not just doing it individually. Then how do you go about identifying such opportunities, like reaching out to other people?
Um, well, in my personal case, is that I always see opportunities left and right. It doesn't matter where I'm looking at. I hear a lot of news. I listen to a lot of news, and if I hear something that um, for example, the metal industry. I know in the metal industry, in the car industry, and whatever, there's a lot of waste streams in metal or something. And I first of all, I think straight away, why can't it be used in the same factory? Why it has to be thrown away? Why you cannot make something out of it? That's what we do. I mean, but then I see the opportunity from, okay, maybe we can use this part of metal. We can create something out of a furniture piece, a design furniture piece. Um, so that's how I see the opportunities from different industries. But as long as they are open for it, I mean, we're not a waste company. We don't collect only waste and say, oh, you know what, let's do something with it. No, we are really checking if we can do something in the design.
It's quite surprising that you kind of keep your eyes on everything instead of, because I was imagining like you would focus just on like maybe like the furniture industry or more of like the environmental
No.
only, but you mentioned like
Honestly,
cars or like metals.
honestly, if I stay focused on the furniture industry, I will not be where I am now. Because
No.
they're still traditional, they're still doing other stuff, they're still doing. Now, finally, mostly in Holland, there are a few now who really do some stuff, also maybe outside the country too. But I don't think that you need to have that tunnel vision on products. You know, a lot of companies from different industries have that only one vision. They want to make profit, and they have already everything already traditional. But I believe that you need to go back to your drawing table and say, you know what, that we can do different. We can do different packaging. I also believe the packaging industry needs to be open for a change, even if it costs business. It also can help creating new business and new opportunities. Um, so yeah, that's why I really think it's really important to have a wider overview. I mean, as an entrepreneur, you need to do that anyway. But for the larger companies among us, the large corporations, I really think you need to be wider, um, open for opportunities regarding to, for example, waste streams, but also policies on circular economy. I mean, are you willing to take back your product after 5 years when it's broken, when the customer? I mean, I also think that there's an opportunity because you can bind your customer to your company. Say, okay, you know what? We buy your product back in 5 years, and you can get a new one from us. And we use that same product we use as a new resource. But I believe that's now a change is coming. I really believe that's going to happen now.
So that's an important characteristic to have as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So then I'll ask another question regarding more about the entrepreneurship, maybe more on the psychological part. So do you believe there's like some sort of pattern or formula to becoming a successful entrepreneur? Or do you have some kind of personal...
The only pattern what I do know is that you need to know how to stand up again. Because however success might look like from the outside, you have no idea how many times we all fall down.
Yeah.
The most successful entrepreneurs, I mean, I again name Elon Musk. I saw a documentary and he almost lost everything. Well, it happened to me too. I mean, but that's what people don't see. They think, oh, you invent something really great and now you must become a millionaire. But it's not true. You are. It's also in it. You also have to take a lot of risks. You understand? If you work somewhere for a company, you close the door after 5 o'clock, but the risk from your boss continues after 5 o'clock.
So now you're the boss.
That's something. Yeah, you continuously, and you have to continuously innovate. I believe you really have to innovate, or else you get stuck on the same process. And again, you need to see opportunities from left and right. But it's never a smooth line. If it's a smooth line, then you might be lucky. I cannot mention them all. I mean, all the biggest successful people started in the garage, and that is literally like that. So if you want to start something, start in the garage. It might help. But you will be, you really need to handle a lot of stuff. I mean, I've been through a roller coaster for the past 10 years, and even before. And now again, the first financial crisis in 2008. And now you have another one, the Corona crisis. So it's a challenge again. But as an entrepreneur, you are able to anticipate on things. You have to be, or else you will not survive. Yeah.
You explained about why you went with the deal in the program Dragon's Den.
Planet-friendly furniture is the offering from Robert Milder.
As I'm the oldest here, I should be the most comfortable.
The entrepreneur is seeking £70,000 in return for a 15% share in his business.
That's nice.
Any bits of this not recycled?
The screws and bolts.
Really?
Put it
That's
together.
it?
That's it.
Peter Jones is already sitting comfortably.
Do I look big in it?
It can be a little bit taller or wider or...
And higher at the back?
So now he'll begin.
Because you had this like initial idea of taking the lowest percentage with your teammate.
Yeah.
I think that was really it really came to me because I don't know, I feel like you really trust your team and your company and your product as a whole. So
yeah, but it was also a challenge, and because at that moment when it was recording, and that's why I also had to do that Q&A, because I saw some comments passing by that people, they say, yeah, you are too expensive, you're this, you're that, but it's not true. It's not. It was a moment from, I stand there for almost an hour in that show, and they only show for 12 minutes on TV, and of course they cut, and of course they do, but that's show.
Yeah,
that was not really. But for me, the most important thing was that four of the five dragons did an offer, and what all happened over there. You hear. I was really nervous. I was extremely nervous, and that's why I used the Q&A to say, you know what, this is what actually happened. And pricing, that was recording in 2018 and 2019. And again, we also developed better. We innovate, and also circular economy is different price range, and it's a whole long story. But I agree,
Yeah,
I say
I
those things. I
understand.
mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have any choice. And then you get those comments. That's funny to see all those comments. Yeah, why didn't you choose for Deborah and Peter at the same? Yeah, of course I wanted to do that, but I was not for
Yeah.
my team. I was like, no. Later they say to me, yeah, why didn't you choose for those two? So yeah, but you say so. So you understand? That's also something that
And people only see
yeah,
the
it's
highlighted
funny.
parts, so they get the
Yeah.
misunderstandings there. Totally
That
get
is
it.
funny, but it was really, really great experience, and such a nice people over there, and everyone was so nice. I mean, at the end, the deal didn't get through. I told you also in the Q&A,
Mhm.
we didn't get that investment, but that's again what you deal with, and you continue. But you have so much attention in worldwide, actually, people seeing that show still are, and the YouTube channel,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's helpful, and but it's funny to see because now I look totally different as
Mhm.
2 years ago. So yeah, it's almost 2 years ago. And I learned from it, and I started talking better, maybe hopefully, and that's also some kind of learning process that you need to do. But yeah, it was a good experience, and I'm really trusting about. I mean, I mostly trust about the product, what we do. We really have proven that that's possible,
Mhm.
and yeah, I mean, we will see what's going to happen in the future. But I really believe that circular economy and all the sustainable development goals, what you can implement as a company, just try it. Just try it. You will learn from it, and it helps our planet.
Then, so you've come across a lot of, I don't know, obstacles and opportunities. What is like one thing that you learned the most and that ultimately benefited you in the long term and that made you now and the company as a whole?
Um, well, the most what I benefited of was, let me think. The moment that I found out that now it's a time to say that I use recycled material. Um, I contacted all the environmental organizations in the world you can imagine, in the hope that I would have a stage. I only wanted to have a stage. I wanted to put my furniture on a stage that people sit on it, talk about the environment, and say, you know what, this is a solution. Um, well, almost everyone rejected me because yeah, who am I? In that part, I'm just a furniture guy. Until an organization called Ocean Unite helped me with the right contacts. And they brought me in contact with the Ocean Conference in 2016, I guess, 2015 or something. And I was on stage and in the US with John Kerry. The furniture was standing there. And that was for me, myself, a game changer because then I realized I'm doing something really well. Okay, and then you have, of course, the Dragon's Den moment. There was also something I do it really well. But I also and I'm also something proud of myself. I almost never talked about it. But I almost had a contract with who is now president of the United States,
Oh,
with the Trump organization, but I said no. But that's another story. There was furniture for the Trump organization, but I said no.
really intriguing.
Some kind of a licensing deal, but I'm that was a moment that I'm happy that I say no.
Oh, okay.
It could earn me a lot of money, but it was if I did it, most biggest mistake in my life if I went through.
So it came from
Yeah.
all the experience that you had previously
Yeah.
to make that decision firmly.
The experience that I had, but also at that moment, there was in 2015 that he went for election, and he was saying such a weird things that it didn't came in my mind. He didn't care about the environment, and it was about the furniture licensing deal for them. I just contacted them and said, you know what, I see, because I had no idea how he was, but it was for me more. For me, was it more like, they have all the hotels, and maybe I can convince them to become sustainable and this and that, and they can have sustainable furniture. So it was for me an opportunity. Now, until he started running for president, and then he say all those weird things, and no, I'm not going to do that. That's how he talks about the environment, how he thinks about about how it's supposed to be. I mean, that's no. Even and I some people blame me for that. I mean, people who, this is not a topic, but some people blame me at that moment. From they have money, friends of them have money, but that was for me. It's not about the money. It's about how you see the world, how you think the world has to be, and that's renewable energy. That's not opening all the traditional industries. You can do that, but focus on how you can make solutions. And so I said no, and that was for me also something. Of course, you think, what am I doing?
No,
But
that sounds really cool.
yeah, and some I will literally receive a big licensing contract from them, like this bunch of paper. And yesterday I was going through my computer and cleaning up some stuff, and I saw it again. I say, Robert, I think you did a good thing not to do it, because it's a mess. It was the last 4 years a mess over there. And even it could sell me a lot of furniture because it has a lot of, but why? I mean, yeah. And that's also fun, really important for entrepreneur. Don't be scared to say no. Even if you don't feel good about it, just say no.
But I think it really takes a lot of courage to say no, especially to such a big deals like you had.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It and of course you think, it could have saved my company, for example. At that moment, I needed it. I could use it at that moment because I was still in the beginning of all kind of processes. I really needed, and this could be an amazing deal, filling all the hotels with.
And there's like no turning back on these decisions.
No, it's not turning back, and they maybe suck you down. But at that moment, you don't know. You understand? Same as now. If I now take a decision, I don't know exactly, but I mean, and also don't let yourself, as an entrepreneur, don't let yourself tell other people what you need to do. People don't like that I tell them what to do, but they also don't let it happen to you. That happened to me also a lot. And then people say, yeah, you should have done this, you should have do this. Yeah. And then you start doubting on yourself. But at this moment, like the Trump situation, I had no doubts. That was not a good feeling, and I'm happy I didn't do it. And if it was a nice guy and if he did nice stuff, then I probably regret. But at that moment, it was another done deal.
I think you made a good decision.
Yeah, and I almost never talked about it. You're because I feel
first time.
Even a little bit embarrassed that.
Oh, and then I also saw in your Q&A session that you talked a little bit like the behind story about the Dragon's Den show. Like you said how it was very pressuring with all the people and like cameras.
Yeah.
Which I was very surprised because you looked so calm in the video.
No, I wasn't.
and then I don't know, you looked really confident when like about 4 people was about to invest on your thing. So I don't know. I know it's like a long time ago now, but can you explain more about like how you felt and like how you dealt with it?
Yeah. No, well, the first 5 minutes I was definitely not calm. I was completely lost, because what happened was a few minutes before, the producer asked me or said to me, you know what, there might be a possibility that they want to invest in your mother company. And so that brought me and tried to make a different deal. So that's why I make a mistake in the beginning. I think at 15 or 20%, I make already my first mistake. I wasn't even 5 minutes inside. But before that, I was the last pitcher, and I was waiting all the time. We were waiting in the area together with all the other contestants, and they were practicing in front of my nose, and I never practice. I am.
Oh, you mentioned that. I was really surprised.
If I practice, I lost it, and you notice in my talking, I wanted to say exactly what I have on paper, but I shouldn't do that because then it goes wrong. I say, for example, plastic ocean, while it is ocean plastics. I say plastic ocean. Plastic is not ocean, not for plastic. And I realized later when I saw it back when they But at that moment, I was, and you can hear it on my phone, I was totally lost. And then I just say, you know what, guys, complete sit down so you can feel the furniture. And then I get more relaxing and calm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because then, and the funny thing was, they even cut a few things out of it that they were really literally fighting. Peter and
Yeah, it was getting a little aggressive.
they were really they were cursing to each other.
Oh,
They were
really?
cursing,
Oh.
but you don't see that, of course. BBC in Holland, it's allowed to show that, but in other countries, no. And that was for me also like, you know, the ice is broken because I can also make a few jokes, and I made a few jokes. You don't see them all, but I make a few jokes, and because I like to make a little bit jokes to break the ice, to be a little bit more confident about myself. But yeah, it might not looking nervous, but I was really nervous. I mean, that's I talk now, that's how I am. But if I was standing there, and then you feel the cameras and
Yeah. It just sounds so intimidating.
yeah. But that's also part of the show, and it's. I mean, I also understand that people who come there who don't get an offer or whatever, who's quite difficult to get through. It is quite intimidating because there are cameras everywhere. You don't see them, but you know there's a team. I don't know how many people, but it's a huge production team. And yeah, but they're all really nice. They make you feel comfortable. They always, and it's. I believe there was a really good, and also the Five Dragons. However, one I say no. Took her. He wanted me to change the name. He did an offer, but he wanted me to change the name. Anders Andersen. Yeah, you're not famous, yeah, but now I am.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if that's inside the episode. If they showed that. That happened in the during the pitch. I said,
Okay.
I'm going to change. I know I'm become famous. So that was really that's really nice, and yeah, it is a TV show, of course, and honestly, I also think that's why I'm not sure if BBC has it already on their own YouTube channel. I don't think so, but they pick the persons who really break down a lot, because those persons have a lot of views on YouTube. Everyone wants to see how the person goes down.
Yeah.
Break them down. Yeah.
Those are the people who are most interested. Definitely.
Yeah, but the most funny, all those reactions afterwards during the show and during this one, all those reactions. I mean, I had to deal with those reactions before Dragons. Then you understand? Like, oh, what do you? Are you the guy from the plastic chair? No, I'm the guy from the comfortable chair.
Oh god.
So
yeah, I think it's more of like you mentioned, getting attention is definitely important. Like presenting yourself and your product.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of attention means maybe not so positive opinions as well. So you just have to like handle all of those.
Yeah, and in the beginning you think like, oh, now it's gonna happen. Now they're gonna have all the comments, all the bad comments on what do you wear, what do you this. Oh, there's also something that I don't know if I say it to the Q&A, but since it was my last, I was one of the last pitchers. I had to wait so long, but I had really nice shoes, but I don't feel comfortable in a suit or whatever. I just don't. But I was waiting. I had nice shoes on, but they were so tight. I put my gym shoes on again, but they were broke, and I forgot to take them off. So I wear them in the pitch. So in the beginning, you see me walking, but I had really old shoes. I was like, oh no. But it all happened. But if you feel the most comfortable, you are the most comfortable, and that's how you should pitch on that moment. That's how you feel the best. And then all the comments in the beginning, you think all those negative comments, I'm gonna comment back, but at the end I think, you know what, I know better. It's gonna happen, and I know what I did, I know what I do, and it's all fine. Don't care that much.
Yeah, I mean, it turned out all great. So
it turned out great. We have another challenge now with COVID. Besides Dragons, then we now have the COVID challenge, Corona challenge. But it's for everyone. The whole world has a challenge now. But again, you can innovate, huh? And now maybe it's an opportunity to become more sustainable.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's because of COVID, but I think more people are definitely having more attention on the environmental things. Even in my country, I'm currently in South Korea, and this year we had just horrible hurricanes. We had like 3 hurricanes coming back and forth, and everyone's awareness just raised up to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And how you think about that, because that's a really climate thing, right?
yeah,
That's really climate change for you, because you don't have that many hurricanes so often besides behind each other, right? Or no?
all the crops just went down, so there were no production of crops or food. So the costs on like markets increased so heavily. So I think that's why a lot of people felt it really close to themselves.
Yeah, and that's those moments, like persons like me, are straight away going to think, okay, how can we solve this? How can we do another solution? We might not stop the hurricane, but we might start thinking about other ways of growing crops. You understand what I mean? We have in Holland, we have a company who grows crops fertilely. I even can't say the word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Straight up. And I mean, in Holland, you have a lot of those innovative countries, but you also, like, the sea level is rising. We already, we have to do with a lot of sea rise level here in Holland. But if you have 1 time or 2 times or 3 times the problems, but the 5th time you're going to think, okay, let's do something about it. Instead of, that's why a lot of countries, they always say we have a great first response, that everything is ready, but you have to prevent of things happening, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do with our company, with my product. We have to prevent that the plastic goes in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the hurricanes, you have to think about, okay, how can we prevent, if the hurricane keeps on coming, let's think about another way to build houses.
And I want to ask you about how you're dealing with this coronavirus. Regarding, how is it affecting your company?
Well, it did. It really did, because we were mostly focused on, and you hear the Dragons Den said they had all those opportunities for the corporate industries and for the banks and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, all those same banks and corporate industries work from home now, so they don't remodel their offices. So we had a really big issue in the beginning of this year when everything went on a lockdown. Everyone is working from home, and actually since 2 days ago we again have a lockdown. So again, all schools are now closed since yesterday, since 2 days today. So, but we were focusing on a project market, and the project market is gone. It was a hotel industry. Well, hotel industry, we all know what happened with that. Airports, we all know what happened with that. So we really had a huge problem. But then my brain started working again as an idea. But then we need to focus on the consumer market, because the consumers stay home.
Yeah.
They want to invest. They want to feel more cozier. They want to feel nicer. We are a bit late in that. We start our team at the same team. What we decided to do a different percentage in the Dragons Den, would say to me. But we are now making that shift. We are now sorry, a little bit of water.
Oh, it's okay.
We are now making that shift in the consumer market, and making ideas on that way. Yeah,
I think that's a really good approach, and I think it's really necessary, especially like the whole system is changing, I believe, in a completely unprecedented way. So it's really surprising as a consumer as well, when like the producer.
But you give a great example. You use now a lot of the meals brought to your home. As a company or manufacturing from those boxes who bring those meals or whatever, think about something that you can recycle already for new packaging.
Mm-hmm.
Offer that to your consumers, so you already push it in it that, because there are a lot of people who don't have education who still think that plastic dissolves after a month in the environment, but it doesn't. So it's also a matter of education, which I believe all those manufacturings out there, every sector, everything, now need to think again from zero and say, okay, we're going to deliver meals, we're going to make a lot of money from delivering meals, but let's also think about some bioplastic, or I don't think that's even that great, but some kind of other materials to give you the pleasure at home from eating at home.
Yeah.
And that's important. And for us, the same. Sometimes people say, "Yeah, you're gonna run out of plastic if you stop using." No, but there's so much plastic out there. And then you have our own furniture coming back in the system again in a few years. So it's yeah. But yeah, again, the corona hit us, and be creative. Think about new markets. Think about the future. Be positive always, and don't get sick.
Oh.
Listen to listen. I have a cold, as you can hear. I don't have corona. I did a test, but
keep healthy.
We will.
It gets really scary if you like cough or like get a headache or anything.
Yeah, if I had something, I'd run away straight away to the test. And it's not so fun at all.
Uh-huh.
But luckily I'm negative. So
okay. Okay, then maybe the last question. I'm actually supposed to ask you about from the Dragon's Den. You secured an investment with Deborah, and I am supposed to ask you like how was it to work with her? But I believe that you were not able to go on to that.
No, because about two reasons. The first reason is that our current investor had to be bought out, so we didn't came to a deal. Because at the forefront you have all the £70,000, I guess I asked for, but then you have the whole negotiation time afterwards. Plus at that moment they're still working. UK is working on a Brexit, so she still had a lot of Brexit things to deal with, and I feel really really sad about it because I would love to have a woman like her on board. She's, I believe, really powerful and have a strong voice and can really help me also steer a little bit in a direction. I mean, I still have contact details, and whenever the crisis is gone, I'm going to visit the UK again. I'm going to have coffee with her, and who knows? Still can go the other direction.
Positive.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's...
But I would suggest everyone to participate in something like that. Even if they burn you down, just walk out of there with a big smile because you know it's going to be on YouTube. And you know people's going to look at you a lot. And that was for me already a really, really big advance to become on the show and make us really good deals already. That brought us already really nice customers and nice people. Really met a lot of nice people. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's about good enough for today. Thank you.
Okay, great.
So much for the interview.
Yeah, it's already late there, right? It's 9, 10 almost.
It's almost 10, but I sleep late, so I think it's okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, it was really comfortable talking to you. Sorry, it's my first time to do something so official, so I bet it was like cranky all the time, but
no, but you did it really great. You're really great. You can be proud of yourself because you do it better than me than I did in the Dragon's Den presentation. So you did a good thing.
Okay.
But are you now in the lockdown or no in South Korea?
You're not like in lockdown, but we're definitely encouraged not to go outside as much as possible.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like worldwidely, it's spreading really quickly. It's like a third wave again, I guess. So. Yep. Oh, it's just a pandemic. Keep safe. Don't get.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.